Hi, this is the Yellow Book lesson for page 15. So make sure you have your yellow book, and we're on page 15. Okay, so this section is called Fun Outdoors. It's really hard to play outdoors right now with all the smoke, so we could just imagine we're having fun outdoors. All right, so this says read the story. Find the two compound sentences, Find the two compound sentences and draw a line under each one. So let's go ahead and write under the words compound sentences and draw a line under compound sentences. A reminder of what we need to do, draw the line, and what are we looking for? Compound sentences. So just a reminder, a compound sentence is a sentence that has two ideas, or comparing, contrasting, or making a list, put together using a conjunction, the combining word, and our most commons are and, or, and but, and those are our three most common conjunctions. So if we're seeing and, or but in these, that's probably a sign that we have a compound sentence, and our conjunction and our comma will let us know that. So keep a lookout for that as we're going through this. The kids have fun. Is that a compound sentence? No. So the kids have fun is not a compound sentence. We're just stating a simple sentence. They're having fun. Lisa flies kites and Ramon rides a scooter. Is that a compound sentence? Yes. The word and with a comma is our conjunction. Lisa flies kites and Ramon rides a scooter. We're putting two together. We're combining two ideas. We're making a list. So now we need to go ahead and underline our conjunction. Underline the compound sentence. We circled the conjunction. They do different things, but they both enjoy the outdoors. Is that a compound sentence? Yes, it is. Our giveaway word is but, our conjunction. So they do different things. Conjunction, comparing, they both enjoy the outdoors. And there's two compound sentences. Let's read the last sentence. The fresh air feels good. If there's not a bunch of smoke, it does feel good. So right now the fresh air is not so fresh. So we're going to have to imagine fresh air. So we don't get that right now. All right. This now says join each pair of sentences to make a compound sentence. Use and, but, or, and add a comma before the word. So before the conjunction, you need a comma. See here before and, kites, comma, and, things, comma, but. Your comma comes before your conjunction. So it's like a CC, comma, conjunction. What's a CCC? Commas, conjunctions, compound sentences. Okay. Join each pair of sentences. So this tells us that there's two separate sentences here, and we need to use the comma and the conjunction. So Lisa collects rocks. She puts them in a box. So our conjunctions, which one do we want to use? And, but, or. Lisa collects box, or she puts them in a box. Lisa collects rocks, but she puts them in a box. Or Lisa collects rocks, and she puts them in a box. And, but, or. And. So we want to put and. So because we're making a correction here, let's go ahead and put a caret, comma, another caret, and this needs to be a lowercase s, so we're going to draw a line through it. That is a lot in one tiny little area, so I'm going to zoom in here. We're putting the caret here above the comma as a reminder that we need to add the comma in. Sorry, my face is really close. We're putting a caret as a reminder we need to insert the word and we're putting it above so that it doesn't lose the space, and we can see it goes comma, conjunction, and then we put a line through the S. The S still needs to be there, but we need to make it a lowercase s because it will no longer be the beginning of a sentence. So that's 3 corrections we have to make to the 2 simple sentences to make it a compound sentence. Then, once we've made the corrections, it'll be easier for us to rewrite it correctly on the line. As Lisa collects rocks, comma, and she puts them in a box. Period at the end. And there we go. We have our first compound sentence with a conjunction. Yay! All right. Pause the video if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and look at number 2. Lisa might look for rocks in the park. She might look for them by the river. So we've used and. So do we want to use but or? Let's read it with both to see what makes most sense. Lisa might look for rocks in the park, but she might look for them by the river. Lisa might look for rocks in the park, or she might look for them in the river. Do we want to use but or? Hopefully you said or, because we're saying she might do one thing or she might do another. So we're going to go ahead and change this period to a comma. So caret, comma, insert which word? Or, line through the S to make it a lowercase s, she. And then we're going to go ahead and rewrite it. Lisa might look for rocks in the park, comma, or she might look for them by the river. And if you're needing more space, write it below the second line but above the third sentences. See, I ran out of space too, and that's fine. Just go ahead and do it there, and it kind of makes almost like a natural line so that you're not having to try to squeeze it and make it all weird and shape around the paper like it's a shape poem. Sorry, I made myself laugh. All right, pause it if you need to. And then we're going to go ahead and look at number 3. Sometimes dirt covers the rocks. Lisa picks them up anyway. So our last one was but. We need to make sure, though, but makes sense as a conjunction we use here, because if it doesn't make sense, then we want to use and or. Sometimes dirt covers the rocks, but Lisa picks them up anyways. Does that make sense? Yes, because we're saying she does something regardless of the previous thing. Or if we were to be like, I like bananas, but I don't. We're comparing 2 different ideas. So she says sometimes dirts cover the rocks. And so maybe we're like, oh, she's not going to want to see that. She's not going to want it. But she picks them up anyways. Oh, okay, Lisa wanted them anyways. We're kind of comparing 2 different things, or wanting to give the audience some information about the Lisa picking up the rocks. So we need to go ahead and turn that period into a comma. We're going to insert the word but, which might be hard here. So I'm going to do an upside down caret here. But. So you see that I have an upside down caret. As a reminder, we need to insert it here, but I couldn't fit it above. And you could do that too for inserting words. So sometimes dirt covers the rocks, comma, but Lisa picks them up anyway. And Lisa, well, at the beginning of a sentence or in the middle of a sentence, is considered a proper noun because it's a name. And since it's a proper noun, we are not going to put a lowercase l, and it will stay capital. So our sentence is, sometimes dirt covers the rocks, comma, but Lisa picks them up anyway. And that is our third compound sentence. Leaving Lisa capitalized. All right. Part C says write 2 compound sentences about something you would like to collect. Something you collect or would like to collect. You are not going to have enough room down here for a compound sentence, so you should have some lined paper somewhere else. Take your lined paper in your notebook and write your compound sentences there, just like if you were in the classroom here last year. You are going to go ahead and when you're doing that at the top of your lined paper, so you know what you're talking about or know where you're looking, you're going to just go ahead at the top of the lined paper, or if you've already got a lined paper going, you're just going to write page 15, comma, part C. That way you're not having to rewrite the whole question or what it's about. But if you write that, then that page 15 part C is just a nice little reminder of where you're answering the questions for, and you're writing 2 compound sentences. You can use and, or but to help you make them. What is something you collect, or maybe you have a lot of? Maybe it's not a collection, but something you have a lot of, or maybe something you wish you could collect. Maybe you wish you had a large collection of rocks or something. I have a rock collection. I also have a tea mug collection or coffee mug collection. And so I would write compound sentences about that. So I can't wait to see what your compound sentences are. And please don't forget to submit the sentences when you're submitting the yellow book pages. It's part of the assignment. So if I'm not seeing those done, I'm going to have to start taking points off, and I really don't want to do that. I want your kids to do well, and I want them to be successful and get good grades, but I am going to need to see all 3 parts or all 2 parts. So having those sentences submitted is very important. All right, you guys, I hope that helps, and I hope you enjoyed some more on compound sentences. Bye.